Hello folks, welcome back to Towns.
Hello everyone.
Charon and Velerious.
We're back to the creaky chairs, the smoking and the wonderful gossip about things going on in the world.
Yep, we'll have a harvest to start. Now before we go any further, we're doing this roofing project. This is the current thing. We're making roofs on the hospital and this whole sort of like crafting area here. The storehouse, masonry, carpentry and forge. Now we've had a comment from Craig Gummersall, who basically pointed out that our atelier, being all the way over here, is not very efficient.
Yeah, which is kind of true.
The initial plan was to move the flowers closer to the atelier, but even better idea is to put the atelier here.
Because obviously we have 3 fields of flowers as well, so we'd have to move every.
It's near the flowers. It's near the carpentry and masonry area, so people can do all the crafting bollocks there.
Yeah.
But what we're going to need to do is just mine a bit of this hill out, Velerious. So I'm just gonna take some blocks off here.
Okay then. Well, anyway, who was it that asked us to talk about the other thing as well?
Let me yellow flag block. Let me put the outline of the atelier down.
Okay. I don't think it matters how big you have it as well, because it's just going to be a single.
Yellow flag block. There we go.
That was random. Anyway, so. Welcome back to Towns. I don't remember much about it, to be honest.
About Towns?
About what we were doing last episode. I remember we started building the roof for this, but we spent a lot of the time kind of chatting.
Oh, I don't like that.
So we ended up getting less done than we would have normally.
Well,
it needs to be a bit bigger.
No, it's only the atelier. So, let me make that the atelier.
But anyway,
there it is.
I've been actively looking at comments now. Everyone will be pleased to hear. I've left a few myself. Been talking to a few of the fans and such. You know, I'm actually getting involved now. People should be happy with this.
Yeah, well, it's good. It's good that you've been checking out the comments. Where are the doors? God, I haven't played this for ages. It feels like so long since I last looked at this.
My single player channel has just hit 12,000 views.
That's great.
Which I'm quite proud of, to be honest.
Okay, this is going to be the new atelier. And I've made a doorway here so they can get into the carpentry and masonry areas. And in the future as well, we're going to want 2 more carpentry benches and 2 more wood detailers and maybe some more another masonry bench.
Yeah, well, obviously, when we get more villagers, we're going to need stuff like that. But at the moment...
Okay, they're now putting flour in the storeroom.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
They have a lot of flour there, and we don't have flour barrels anymore. Oh, we have one.
Oh my fucking god, what has happened over here?
That was you telling them to build the roof at the same point. Someone said don't delete them.
Don't delete them?
Apparently, if you build the roof again, they'll recycle those blocks now.
Will they?
Yeah.
So who told us that? I didn't see that on the comments.
I don't know, but I do remember it being on the comments
that
they recycle blocks that they put on the floor.
Okay, so let's
try and drag it across again now and see what happens.
That roof's in the way. Let's see what happens if we do that. See if people are going to move it. Why? I don't understand what they're doing there. Why is it going so wrong? There we go.
Look, they're picking up the roof.
Yeah.
So they do recycle the blocks. So whoever that was, we'll have to look in the next episode now and just see.
I don't even remember seeing that comment. That's bizarre.
See, this is why I've got involved now.
Yeah.
Looking at all these comments now.
Right, hold on, because I've got the complicated bit over here. So blue, clay, 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 clay. Hang on. Air. Clay, yeah. So it's
there,
all along there.
Are we not making the atelier have a orange roof?
We need to build up the second wall before we can even think about that anyway, Velerious. So, but yeah, we will extend the clay roof to cover the atelier, I think. Okay.
As it stands, though, kind of like we have had some good advice really on most of the comments that we've had. Advice that we probably wouldn't have known if people had told us. Thank you very much. So, like,
still 2 bits of roof left.
The roof thing is quite helpful.
There we go.
Someone's gone and got them. Yeah,
there's 1 left. Yeah, so this is confusing. I don't know why they fucked that up, Velerious, to be honest with you.
I don't know why, but it's at least handy to know that they've all just put the blocks down.
Yeah, it's nice to know.
Again.
It's nice to know that we can move the shit after they break it. So that's groovy. Right, so now we're going to need some stone, I reckon. Round about now. So,
we were mining out the one below, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, should we get some of this?
Yeah. Because there's a nice big chunk there. Loads.
Because it's nowhere near the river. It's not too far from the stairs. So if we mine out that, call this iron, Velerious. Holy shit.
We've actually got a lot of iron being pooped out at last.
Yeah, another thing we're going to want to consider as well is copper at some point. I mean, we are going to need it to make use of the Hobgoblin Knight, but it's so far away, isn't it? It's like...
Yeah.
Am I on the right
near
dungeon?
the bottom,
yeah, there's some over there. No, that's iron. Some over there.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, where are the stairs?
The stairs were the ones here where they're in a wall, I think. So you'd have to look round for a bit of wall.
That's some copper as well.
Go up.
Oh, there's the stairs. So
we need to mine out.
Yeah, we need to mine that out.
Just put several orders.
Yeah. So now, I mean, they've got plenty of mining to do, so
Yeah,
we can leave them going with that while we chat about other things. So, Egrut, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly, because he put it on the video. He's the guy who mentioned the smoking business.
Yeah.
And he left a comment saying, "My name's Egrut. That's how you pronounce it." And I'm hoping that the way he writ it looked like Egrut, but it could have been Eggrut. But that sounds weird.
Honestly, I should have read this.
I think it was Egrut. I think
I'm
that's
much better reading the comments.
But anyway, he asked us what we think about Kickstarter.
Now, see, I've kind
Holy
of
shit! Why have we got no bread? What's going on?
We've got flour. It's just they're not baking it, I think.
Baking should be like mass priority. Yeah, it is. I found out why they weren't eating all the fucking fruit before as well. When you harvest the fruit, if they leave the apples and pears on the floor, they grow into apple and pear bushes.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what was happening there. They were taking seed and
So you need to instantly have a barrel if you're going to start harvesting them.
Yeah, you sort of need a barrel situation under control. So anyway, Kickstarter, Velerious. What do we think about Kickstarter?
See, I've got kind of mixed feelings on the fact of like, I think it's good as well as bad at the same time, really. Now, I do know that if you put something on Kickstarter and it doesn't hit the goal, you still have to pay for putting it on Kickstarter.
Mm.
But likewise, if you hit the goal, they take some money out of the end amount.
Yeah, well, they've got to make their money somehow. So that's understandable. There's a fee involved for going on Kickstarter in the first place, win or lose. It
depends, really, because I'd kind of like... If they're going to take their own money from it and everything, I think they should do something to promote you. So you should be in adverts, really.
Yeah.
So, like, if you, say, put a game on there that's not well known, it won't get to its amount, so you're going to have to end up paying anyway. But it should be, if you're going to pay, they should at least, advertise your game, and if it doesn't get the money, it doesn't get the money. It's tough.
Yeah, but what they're doing for their end is providing a place where people can go, knowing what to expect, sort of thing. A centralised database, as it were, of projects that need funding. Now, see, on the one hand, I like the idea of Kickstarter. I like that it gets games made. FTL is the game I've been playing that solidly like all last week.
Well, they use it for other things as well.
And that was one of the first things to come off Kickstarter successfully. And it's like that wouldn't have been made without Kickstarter.
Because I'll tell you something that I saw that was quite interesting. Someone started a Kickstarter not so long ago. It's failed now anyway. But it was for Dungeons and Dragons, a board game.
Yeah.
Of it. And basically you'd have like all the maps and like the characters and everything. And there was just like a few extra rules and such. So it was like the basic kind of Dungeons and Dragons rules and everything. You got all the dice with it and such whenever you bought the board game.
Yeah.
And you got like some art and such for all the monsters and that you'd be facing everything. And it came with like a disc as well. And on the disc, it'd have voices. So like, if you say you had a dungeon master who had a dungeon, but when you went into it, you wanted a wizard to say a certain thing, this disc would have standard lines on that you could play.
Look, why is that?
Which is really weird.
Why is that? Do we need an extra oven? Is that the thing? Should I get an extra oven?
What are they doing now?
A table. I think they are making bread, but I don't think there's enough things for them to make bread with.
Make another oven, another one of them rolly table things.
Yeah, I'll put 2 more ovens down, and we'll get 2 more tables.
Oh,
so anyway, yeah, go on, carry on what you were saying anyway.
There's been other things that have been put on there as well, like one of the things that I just showed you literally before we started this was Ouya, I think it's called.
Yeah, this is the new console.
Which was, Google basically wanted to enter into the console market.
But it's an Android-based
Yeah.
console.
So what they did were they started a Kickstarter for it, under the idea that, you know, if they get to a certain amount, they'd go forward with building this console, because obviously there's people who want this console.
Yeah.
But they massively passed it anyway. Did really well on it and everything. I've not really heard much about it since, so it must be in development now. But it's like something like that was like, it's a new kind of idea. So Google wanted to go into the console market, and because they weren't sure about things, they decided to, you know, inquire with people. But instead of doing like a poll, they did a Kickstarter where people could go there and donate money and get, you know, extra things for doing so.
I mean, I think the problem with Kickstarter is you don't want us to get to the point where companies are relying on Kickstarter, because then, you know, games aren't getting made. You know what I mean? People go, "Oh, we didn't have a Kickstarter goal. Boo-hoo, no game," sort of thing.
The thing that annoys
Whereas,
me...
you know, if they can secure the funding beforehand, it's obviously preferable, because then you can guarantee that the game's coming out. They can release pre-orders to raise some extra funds if they need to.
I also think, though, that a Kickstarter should be kind of like a beta access. You know, so if
they do offer nice benefits. I mean, it's a good system for them to get large funders, like, you know, because there are people who will happily like throw a couple of thousand at a games company. You know, there's people who are well off who want to make a difference.
Interestingly enough, though, the one that I was referring to was Prison Architect.
Prison Architect,
which was $30, got you the actual game in beta and such.
Yeah.
But now I can go on their site and give them $30 and get it for beta. So people who are in that, the Kickstarter, are getting nothing extra, really.
Yeah.
They're paying the actual cost that they would have paid anyway. So there was no point of Kickstarter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's such a weird thing, because it's like, you know, it's half good, half bad.
I mean, there's been good things on there, like Full Steam Ahead, was it?
The Ship 2. Yeah, that's one that I'd like to see come about, but it's like, I don't have the money to put anything in there myself.
I don't.
So this is why it's like, you know...
But that was another one that kind of like, after they did it, then they issued a statement saying that they also put it on Steam Greenlight. And a lot more people kind of like liked it on there than they did on the Kickstarter. So people obviously liked the idea of the game but couldn't afford to fund it.
Steam Greenlight's another system that it's like sort of brought the best and the worst to the table. It's you know, on the one hand, there's some amazing games on there. There's a sequel to that racing game that Nerd played. You know that Nitrous Oxide, was it? Something like that, or Nitrous Rush.
Something like that.
There's a sequel coming to that which looks amazing, which is waiting for Kickstarter funding. There's that game where it's like an RPG, but to cast the spells, you have to verbally cast the spells. It's like use your microphone and you say, so you'd be like, Wingardium Leviosa, and it would cast the appropriate spell.
You need to do it properly though and say
Wingardium Leviosa. But it's like, and that again looks like a really good game. It's one I've been watching. Euro Truck Simulator recently got greenlit. Project Zomboid. There's a lot of great stuff on there. If you can dig through all the shit, that's the problem. It's given people a platform to suggest some really fucking terrible ideas as well as really good ideas.
Yeah, it's also it's given something for like people who just upvote anything.
Yeah.
So like they look at that and go, oh yeah.
But it's also like then it's really sad like watching things not get enough votes when it's something you are interested in. Like Euro Truck Simulator didn't look like it was going to get enough votes for a while.
The other thing as well is with Steam Greenlight. I don't know if this is just mine that does it, but I went on it the other day and I was like, right, sort by adventure games, 2 games found. Because Steam immediately selected the games that it thought I would be interested in. I was like, you know, that's all well and good, but I think I can decide what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when it's going, oh, do you want just these games? It's like, no, I want to see all the adventure games.
But it's a nice system if it works. Yeah. It's I'd say it's yet to prove itself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's had some successes, it's had some failures. I mean, like I said, there's some really good games that have been greenlit. Project Zomboid, Euro Truck Simulator, and Towns. Towns was a greenlight project, wasn't it?
It's like
but then it's, you know, Towns being greenlit as it was before it was ready for release caused a lot of stink on the game hubs then.
Which is why a lot of games like Project Zomboid are a bit scared now of like immediately releasing their game.
So yeah, because it's 2 different attitudes they're taken. They both got greenlit about the same time, but Project Zomboid is waiting until they're ready to release. whereas towns went ahead and released anyway. But then, as we've discussed in previous episodes, a lot of kicking off about the state of the game and whether it's a final release, whether it's a beta, whether it was worth the money up front, as it were.
The one thing I can immediately say is Project Zomboid. Someone actually asked them why they didn't do a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Because obviously they were like, well, you need this money in order to live and create this game. Why don't you do a Kickstarter? Now their response to that was like, the game's well known on Steam and everything, but do people want to vote it up on Steam, and with a beta not coming out and they're not seeing what's happening, want to throw their money at it as well?
Yeah.
And it's like, a lot of people might be a bit sceptical about the fact of, I'll throw my money at them.
See, now we're up to 20 bread, look.
Yeah, because they've not had any harvestings. I think they're doing the flower now. Because if you look at the flower patch, it's gone down.
Yeah, but also I think having the extra ovens has probably helped. We're getting to that stage now where we need to start thinking about motoring along, which is why I want to get this roofing done and get these houses on, because that will give us like 12 extra people, which is a lot of manpower. Well, it's a lot of manpower. It's gonna be fantastic. So, see, no one's put that block up yet either. I wonder if it's because they're waiting for
maybe
for this one over here.
It's just sat there.
Beelzebub appears to be stood there. Now, why is he stood there? Is there an issue? Task move. He appears to be trapped. Now,
this is not good.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
He was just having a think about it.
Wow. So God knows what he was doing.
That's another thing as well, right? I played Postal 2 recently.
Bleeding vanishes from Evil Badger. That's not from this session, is it?
Probably not. Anyway, I was playing Postal 2 recently.
Yeah.
And jumped into a car. And was jumping, thinking, "Oh God, I can't get back out. I'm stuck."
No, we are under siege here. This is what's going on, Velerious. There are evil badgers. Now,
people should just kill them.
Yeah, let's add this guy to group 1 for a start, and then let us get. Who should we have? She hasn't got particularly good.
The people at the bottom should be all equipped, I think.
This guy looks quite decent.
Go to the bottom.
I'm going to put him in group 1 as well, because group 1's going to guard the dungeon. I think that's something we need to do. And I want a third guy then, who's going to be a
Town Watch.
She hasn't got such damage. Yeah, it's going to be Evil Badger Patrol and what have you. Or shall we make a goon squad out of these two guys?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
You'd probably have to go with more than one, because Evil Badgers.
We'll add these guys to group 2.
Yeah.
So now we've got 2 groups of soldiers here. So these 2 guys over here, we're going to put them on dungeon entrance patrol. So they are a patrol group. That's fantastic.
Do you remember how to do the patrol?
We add patrol point, don't we?
Yeah.
For group 1.
Yeah.
And
then just make them patrol the entire thing, I imagine.
Like there as well, maybe.
Yeah.
For group 1. So they'll sort of walk back and forth between the dungeon entrance. And in the meantime, group 2 will be our response unit. So at the moment they're set to guards. We're going to switch them to patrol for a sec. And then we're going to put a patrol point there.
Yeah.
And hopefully now they'll bomb over there and kill those evil badgers. And if they
come.
Yeah, so
or not.
No, maybe not. So where are our group 2
Evil
soldiers?
badgers don't seem to be doing much really. Oh, there's one.
There we go. Godiva's got them. So that worked. And then once that's over, which it's now over, we can just move them back to a guard group, so they'll just be on emergency response. So that's how we're dealing with that from now on.
So what I was saying anyway about Postal 2 is after I got stuck, right, some text came up in the right-hand corner. Oh, you appear to be stuck. So it teleported me back to where I could walk, and then just said, please make a note of not jumping here again.
Of not jumping
in that place again.
Alright, okay.
So I thought, oh, well, maybe it only does it once, so did it again. just a test.
Yeah.
And immediately it just went, oh, you seem to be stuck. Teleporting back out again. I was like, well, that's quite good. Because there is some games that, you do get stuck in and you don't mean to.
This was actually, what that reminds me of is there was a bit in Portal where it was set up like that, wasn't it? There's an area you could get in what you weren't supposed to be able to get in, sort of thing, but you were, because they'd sort of planned around it. And when you got stuck in there, GLaDOS would release the emergency exit sort of thing, so you could get back out, and that was a thing.
But it's like things like that. Like there's some games that I've gone in that really you get stuck somewhere and it pisses you off massively.
We're going to say we've got red colouring, so it's not red colouring holding them up.
I think it might be baking. Maybe.
Could be that they're busy baking, which is fine.
The baking, harvesting, and hauling stone at the moment. So they are doing quite a lot of stuff at the moment.
And here's our patrol group having wandered down here. I mean, they appear to just be stood there at the moment.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. So so it's on some sort of timer.
So they stand there and then go to the other place.
So that's good, because then hopefully anything coming out of the dungeon, they'll be on the ball taking care of it.
Which is a better idea really than building just a massive wall around us.
Yeah, I'll just grab some more red flowers as well, because we're probably going to need them. Oh God, it's coming along nicely, Velerious.
There has to be some games though that like you got stuck in.
Oh, another thing Egrut told us was if we wall off there with a too high wall, and there with a too high wall, and obviously like bring the tavern up as well, and where the graveyard is, anything that spawns in the edge won't actually be able to get into the city. Yeah. So that's something to consider for the future as well. Yeah, we did the market roof, so that's fantastic. So what were we talking about? Games that where we've got stuck.
Yeah. So games like
I'll tell you a story about a game that I got stuck on, which was Vagrant Story. Now, as you well know, Velerious, Vagrant Story is my favourite single-player game ever. Because, quite frankly, it's the best-made game. It's just so much quality they put into it. It's just, you can tell it's a work of art. But the final boss on Vagrant Story is probably one of the hardest bosses I've ever fought.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I got to fight him, I could not kill him. And it took me a week. And when I say a week, I don't mean like, an hour a day for 7 days sort of thing, 7 hours. I'm talking solid, just going at him for a full fucking week, like every opportunity I got before I actually managed to kill him. And at one point, I was so sort of frustrated thinking, oh my God, this game is so awesome and I'm not going to be able to see the ending because I can't fucking kill the boss. And then when I actually killed him, oh man, it was so good, Velerious. And I tell you what, it's been a while since I've had that feeling again, and the most recent game to give me that feeling was FTL. Because again, the last boss in FTL is phenomenally hard. And it's like, it took me about 47 hours of gameplay before I eventually took him down. And it felt so good taking him down.
Well, see, the thing is, like, some games kind of work around the fact that if a boss is going to be too hard, maybe you've missed something prior and that's why you can't do it.
No, but the FTL is a roguelike, so it's like, it's designed to be too hard. That's sort of the point.
What I was going to say was, like, imagine LA Noire, which did the very nice thing of, if you failed, like, several times at something, would then ask you if you wanted to skip it.
Yeah, it basically gave you a free walk, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which is good, I like that. I like the fact that you had the choice. You could either continue to try the difficult mission if that's your thing, or if that wasn't your thing, you could skip the difficult mission and it would move you on to the next part of the story.
I don't think I skipped any of them, but I think I did get the option to
skip one. I think I skipped one, and it was just one of these things where it was just, I wasn't in the mood. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It was like, I was quite near the end, and I was just like, oh, fuck it, do you know what I mean? Yeah. I keep falling off this bloody building or whatever it was. I thought, bollocks to it, I'll just skip that one.
Which mine was, I had to chase someone up a drain pipe, and every single time they just kept kicking me.
Yeah, it was something like that.
It was really frustrating.
It was one of these chases, and it's just, I just couldn't keep up with the bastards. And it's like, I probably could have sat there and done it eventually, but I was just like, well, I might as well.
But I think I preferred having the choice of going, do you want to skip it?
It was definitely a good idea. It was something a bit different.
Likewise to, some games, like GTA and such, where you have to drive to missions. And you end up like, even in LA Noire, when you did drive to the missions, how many cars did we go through, Charon, going from one mission to another?
I think at one point I went through 5 cars getting just to one mission, but then I was purposely driving like a bit of a knobhead because it's fun. The driving physics. You can either drive quite well if you put your mind to it, or you can just drive like a knobhead and smash into everything, safe in the knowledge that you can just take any other car you want. So,
I mean, that's one thing as well. I do like the idea of like being able to take any car.
Yeah, and it was like, because it's like, in a way, it's the anti-Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
What Rockstar have done there is they've taken the exact same idea of Grand Theft Auto, where you can just take any car you want, but flipped it over, because instead of being the criminal, you're the police, and instead of stealing the car, you're just commandeering the vehicle.
Yeah, so instead of stealing the car, you instantly open the door and just go, police business,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. You show your ID and you take the car that way. And that was good. I liked that. I liked that they kept the freedom whilst giving you the other end of the stick.
What they also went with as well, which was quite nice, was your partner driving for you.
See, what I'd like to see, right? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you said. Yeah, we'll go with that first. The fact that you don't have to drive from mission to mission. You can get your partner to instantly drive you there. So if you're struggling with the driving, you can skip that as well.
So also, like, if you've done all the side missions, nothing's going to come up on your radio while you're driving for like a side mission. You don't fancy driving.
But now this is what I wanted to mention, is I wish there'd been a bit more, like, do you remember a game on the PlayStation called Urban Chaos?
Yes.
The beautiful thing about Urban Chaos, it was a similar sort of game, but it was a futuristic police thing. And you were the cops. And the great thing is, you could arrest anyone that you saw committing a crime. And people would just randomly commit crimes, and it was up to you to sort of arrest them. And it was like, so for instance, you could just be walking from one mission to the other, and you might see someone holding up a shop, or someone mugging an old lady in an alleyway, and you can go over and arrest them and charge them with the crime. And I remember, because when we were playing it, it was me, you and Charlie playing it, and it was, we were just walking through the woods, through the park on the way to a mission, and I spotted a guy having a pee near a tree, and I went, that's illegal, you're not allowed to pee outside. And Charlie was like, what? It's not illegal, he's just having a pee. I'm like, no, seriously, it's a crime. Went over and arrested him, and Charlie was like, no way. I was like, I can't believe they even, even little details like that you can just arrest someone for having a pee in a public place.
But see, the thing is as well, what you got to think about is Urban Chaos was quite an old game.
Oh yeah, and the control system was fucking awful, but it was a really good game. The plot was kind of good, and the freedom to arrest.
Well, if you think of something like that, right?
It's good.
Nowadays, I can see it being a bit harder because, like, you want to make graphically, appealing things to people.
Yeah.
You can't just make, a really crappy game but have really awesome gameplay.
What I would like to
some
see
people do complain
is
about things like that.
Urban Chaos would make an absolutely fantastic Judge Dredd game. If it was Judge Dredd you were playing as, and you had the same freedom to arrest people for any sort of crime, that would be fantastic. Because Judge Dredd's got a great mythos behind it. It's a good mythology.
Well, I mean, like, LA Noire would have been good if you could have just arrested anyone.
Yeah, but the story got a bit convoluted, didn't it?
I think what happened with the story with LA Noire was it was a typical case of they planned out this epic story, but then really rushed it at the last second.
It just, near the end, it just got a bit
quite
like
slowly and melodramatically, and then speed up rapidly at the end.
It was a bit like what the fuck.
It would have been much better.
And they tried to
kept
tie
that fast pace.
They tried to tie everything into it.
Yeah.
Now, something else we want to do, by the way, this might have been Egbert as well that told us this. He said we've got people who aren't wearing shit, Vel.
Yeah.
The dungeon's empty. So let's get some equipment. Oh, there's a big spider-eye breastplate somewhere. Let's equip this bird here.
Good point there.
We'll get some goblin-like grooves, because we might as well get some people getting some weaponry and stuff. There's a stone spear there, we'll give it that.
That still makes our mage, to be honest.
Let's give Francis some stuff here as well. So we've already given out one diorite helmet there. So we need to find... There's another... The Pig Slayer one's pretty good, isn't it? We'll give him the Pig Slayer.
Yeah.
Iron breastplate. Spider-eye grooves. Black direct boots. Let's give him them. See what they do.
We're probably getting close
iron
to the
short
end as well.
sword. What time? No, we'll call it.
Start timing late.
We'll call it in a couple of minutes. We'll give him that iron sword, and we'll equip this one as well. There's not going to be a spare breastplate for her though, so that's bad news. Goblin-like helmet though, we'll take that. No breastplate. I've forgotten what greaves I've given away. We'll take these iron greaves. And we'll let people get some equipment, and then we'll have another look at the situation.
It's a shame there isn't a button for going and equipping the best thing that you
yeah,
find.
just like I think there is an auto equip option if you make them into a soldier or something, but for now we'll just do it this way. Let's get that curved blade. We'll take that.
That guy who has the helmet, the Pig Slayer, only has that, doesn't he?
So Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll have a look at them in a sec. See how that's working out for 'em.
Yeah.
Just want to quickly check. Group 1, they the patrol group.
Yeah, Group 1's patrol group. They're doing fine at the
Oh
moment.
yeah, they're great. They're fantastic. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, both the groups should be doing fine on armor and such because we equipped the people. Well, made.
So why is no one making this bloody this red bit of roof?
It might be because they're concentrating on the orange.
It could be, but there's just one block, and they're just ignoring it, Velerious.
We'll go look if they've moved the flowers. If they haven't, it means they're too busy. Obviously,
they've moved all the stone. Oh, are we out of stone again? We can't be out of stone again.
No, because I think they were hauling it.
Let's have a look.
It doesn't look like they've moved the flowers actually.
No, we are. They've used it all. Fucking hell, man. We are getting through some stone here. So okay, let's take some more.
There is the bottom half of that as well. You could take.
Let's take this. We're getting there. We're gonna take all this stone out. The iron's starting to build up, which is good, but we really want to be moving on to copper. So we're gonna have to find out a way to handle the logistics of that somehow.
Is it another mine kind of thing?
Is it another mine? Well, it will be. Yeah, we will be using a mine for it. Bit low on flour again. They're really getting through the bread at the moment, Velerious.
This is the hungry episode.
14 and 25. Yeah, they're really sort of eating through it.
Just remember the timer because we did start it late.
Food caravan is coming. Oh yeah.
Pom pom. That's their unique sound.
Let's check this shit out. So, they sell. Oh yeah, I forgot about the chickens. We could put some carnivorous plants in the chickens. Ah, these guys sell fish. So this will be where we get the fish from. Remember, we were confused as to how you get fish. So yeah, there's some stuff there.
No, just explore that and then
fruit, blue radish.
Do remember who's got to render and edit this, you know.
Oh yeah, so we'll bring that to look at all this stuff. And we can sell as well. We can sell food. We don't want to sell anything. So that last box not going down. So we'll quickly pause it there, and we'll see you next time.